It's not cutter free, latches, unlatches properly. Make sure the truck's in neutral. Push the clutch all the way to the floor. Form a safe start. For y'all that can remember this, as soon as you crank the truck up, if you'll come over here and turn the cruise control on and bump that button out towards the window. You can go ahead and idle it up. Alright, start your in-cab inspection. Check your mirrors, make sure they're properly adjusted. Check your windshield, not cracked or broken, no obstructions, and clean. Your window sealed, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, no signs of leaks. Your windshield wipers are rubber to glass, not metal to glass. Drop down and start on your dash, working your way left to right. Check your oil pressure. Make sure it's reading between 30 and 60. Check your temperature gauge. Make sure it rises as the truck warms up. Push this button right here till the battery shows up. Make sure the voltmeter is reading between 13 and 14. Air pressure gauges are building air, looking for 120 to 125 normal operating. If we come on across this dash, there's nothing else to inspect right now. So drop down and work your way across again. There's nothing on this side of the dash that needs to be inspected. So come to your steering column, work your way up, check your left turn indicator, your right turn indicator, your high beam indicator, your four-way flasher indicators. Come on up across the steering wheel, check your city horn, check your road horn. Come on across your steering wheel, check your windshield wipers, check your washer fluid. Doesn't matter if it works or not, it just matters what you call out. Come on across the dash, check your heat and defrost. Turn it to defrost. Make sure you got air moving on the dash. Turn it to heat. Make sure you got air moving on the floor. And believe it or not, the air conditioning in this truck works. Any questions what we've done so far? Oil gauge, temperature gauge. If the voltmeter's not up, this button right here, push it till the battery comes up. Air gauges. What we're looking for on normal operating pressure?
120 to 125.
Alright, so the only thing we got left to do now is what?
Lab.
As far as test purposes are concerned.
Lab test.
Brake test.
Brake test, yes. Service
so
and...
it's going to be parking brakes, service brakes, leaks, alarms, and buttons. Alright? If we screw up on the parking brakes, you're going to lose a point. Alright? If you screw up on the service brakes, you're going to lose a point. If you screw up on the L or the A or the B without correcting it, you're going to fail the pre-trip. And what I mean by if you don't correct it is if you go all the way down and let those buttons pop out before you fix your mistake, then it's going to be done. Alright? As an example, the leak test, 90 pounds of pressure for 1 minute, no more than 4 psi air loss. I can do that without the key being turned on. Alright? But in order to make sure my warning lights come on at 60, the key's got to be on. So if I forget to turn the key on and I'm pumping that brake looking for that warning light and those gauges get down to 60 and that light ain't came on yet, then you forgot to do something. So at that point you got to say, I forgot to turn the key on. So one or two things are going to happen. He's going to tell you to turn the key on, or he's going to let you start all over and do it correctly. Alright? But if I continue to go with no warning lights and I pump it all the way down to the buttons pop out, you're going to be done. Alright? So we got 130 psi. So we're going to start our brake test. We're going to put the truck in first gear one time and leave it there. We're going to check the parking brakes. Makes no difference what order this is done in, all right? I'm gonna release my trailer, and I'm gonna nice and easy tug, make sure we don't roll anywhere. I'm not gonna spin the wheels on the tractor. I'm gonna set my trailer and release my tractor and make sure my trailer holds. Once I've done the parking brakes, I'm pushing both buttons in, and once you push both of those buttons in, do not pull them back out. All right? Now we're going to do the service brakes, and because it will take about 15 minutes for this trailer to charge for us to roll it, explain to the examiner the service brake test. I'm going to roll the truck forward about 5 miles an hour. I'm going to push the clutch in, hit the brakes. The truck should stop. It shouldn't pull left or right. Shouldn't make any unusual noises. All right? So once the service brake is done, the truck's in first gear, both the buttons are pushed in. We're going to shut the engine off, release the clutch, turn the key back on. All right? If this is the examiner, this is what the examiner needs to hear. I'm going to apply 90 pounds of pressure for 1 minute. I shouldn't lose any more than 4 psi. Put your foot on the brake, the examiner's going to say your minute's up. All right? I need to make sure that my warning lights come on at or before 60, and I need to make sure my buttons pop out between 20 and 40. Start fanning the brakes. Watching for your warning lights. All right, my warning lights are on at 60. Both my buttons popped out before 20. And you're done.
Awesome.
Any questions?